Hi all, Hal here with more Space Engineers. Yay, Space Engineers, engineers in space. Sorry. Oh, it's another late night for me. So anyway, basically what we're doing today is, if you remember last time, what are you guys choking on over here? Alright. Oh, you know, yeah, okay, never mind. I know what you're working on. Get back to it. Okay. So, yeah, last time what we did is, we've got the new Scout, we were doing some work, and we increased our refinery and production capabilities. So, we now have, on the floor upstairs, another 12 refineries, plus the refineries that we have here. So we're producing, a ridiculous amount of materials. As you can see, we are now out of stone ore, iron ore, which we had something like close to 4 million units of, which we now have 4 million units of iron ingots. And if you sit here and watch for a couple of seconds, you will notice that some of these things are dropping very, very quickly. So it's working really good. So now we're converting everything over to ingots. We've got the ingots converting into other things, and as you can see, we are slowly filling up all of our components. So we'll be able to get into the mass production piece here pretty soon, actually. So what I'm doing to prepare for that is I've started working on a new docking area. So what we're going to do, as you can see here, we've gone ahead and punched a hole in. I've obviously shut off the oxygen vents in this room. But we're going to be putting in a couple of doors to use as a domed airlock. We're going to have all of this blocked and framed in. And we're setting up to have the two large ships, both the large welder, which is on the far side right now. It should be on the far side right now. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. So the welder and miner are actually going to be parking over here from now. And what we're going to do is on this area up here, we're going to extend this out some. I'm thinking I may take these out. I haven't decided yet. Because what I'm thinking is I may take those out and actually put them down here. Or I may end up piping them through so that they sit up here, because what we're going to do is extend this out. What I'm looking to do with this whole thing is we're going to be building a ship. Well, I should say a automated crafting station. So as you know, we have the crafting station down here for ships, and what I want to do is have something that works for small ships, because this one really is geared only towards large ships right now. And I do want to still be making small ships because they can be used for things like drones and remote operations. So I can actually create a drone miner that is completely automated. I basically point it at an asteroid. It'll go through the asteroid, it'll get the resources, and then come back and park itself. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Is we're going to be doing a little bit of work on a small ship factory. Actually, we're going to be working on the docking station so we can start building the small ship factory. And I thought about actually tying it in up here, but I like having the windows, so I don't really want to take all of this apart and not have windows in here anymore. So, yeah. So it's going over there. Alright, so first things first, we need to move the large ship, because we want to find out exactly how much room do we need, and where do we need everything to be when we start actually doing all of this. So we're going to get us out of there. Okay. So, because I'm not quite sure exactly how much... Is that doggy in the window? No, sorry. It's, like I said, it's really late. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to see about docking this thing somewhere. And since we do have a docking ring on it, well, a connector that we use as a docking ring, I should say, what I'm planning on doing is actually having a spot here on this crosswalk well, what will be a catwalk when we're done with it, that this thing will connect up to. Now, that was a little closer than I wanted it to be. Okay. And that should be, yeah, it's close enough. Close enough for government work, right? And I know there's a bunch of government employees out there that are looking at me going, Hal, that ain't funny, man. We hear that crap all the time. I was like, yeah, you hear it all the time because it's true. So yeah, basically what we're going to do here is I'm going to have a connector and conveyor system that will extend out to attach to the ship. So what I'm going to do is we're actually going to put, so we're there, and I don't have any interior plates, do I? Let me grab some plates really quickly. Because we are going to need, that works. What we're going to do is we're going to put a, where is closest? Let's go ahead and put a conveyor block in. We want our conveyor. We want, you guys can go away. We want conveyor tubes and we want conveyor elbows. So let's go ahead and, now we wait for the game to catch up. Hopefully. Computer. There we go. Sorry, I get system freezes because, well, I have been on my computer all bloody day. All right, so we're gonna do that. Oh, I need a connector too, don't I? Oh. You know what? I think we can actually get away with just doing it this way. Yeah, perfect, actually. That'll work out nicely. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to repeat that process on this side. And I know people are asking me, well, why? Because I do have the other docking areas over here which have been working really well, but one of the things that I want to do is have the ability to have ships parked over here so they're out of the way and they're together, so I just come out to one location to find the ship that I want, go do what I need to do, bring it back, and, you know, rinse and repeat as needed. But I also want to have the ability for ships to still get into the supply system. And so what this allows us to do is, if we have, say, a second mining ship, right, we can have one parked and docked over here, and we can have one offloading materials here. With the crafters, since we do have a crafting ship or a welding ship, we can have that parked over here. It's getting the resources it needs, while this is open for either one of the other miners to come back and drop off its supply while the first one is unloading and then eventually taking off. And then, you know, basically you can set up a daisy chain of ships arriving and leaving in order to make sure that you actually are maximizing your production. So that is the idea. Let's go ahead. We're going to go back here now. And I think I'm going to go... let's take a look and see. Alright, so we're going to go... Okay. So you have one piston there. One piston there. And then we put a connector on the end. Alright, and now this one... Oops. There we go. This one is actually going to be for the big CV build. I shouldn't mix terminology. Okay, so the big ship, this is a big grid ship, right? And it's called a big grid ship because there are two grid sizes. You have this one, which is the station standard, and then you have a small ship, which is, I think, 1/16th of this. Because I think it's like 4 of the small ship blocks for every one of these things in length. But anyway, it's a much smaller grid. It's basically, that is a small grid ship. That's a big grid ship. Pretty obvious when you look at them as to which one you're referring to. So when you're talking all about the large grid ships, though, there are basically capital-sized ships or giant cruisers that you will see on things like the Steam Workshop or in other people's videos. And I am going to get to the point where we are building a large ship like that, a cruiser-style capital ship. And I need a place where we're going to be able to dock it easily. Now, these other connectors do not allow for certain things. Like, I wouldn't be able to have a ship that's, slightly wider than the base, because if it was, I wouldn't be able to connect it here because of this or because of the stuff over there. And so as we are mining and we're working on the asteroid, we're going to cut things away, but we're going to make it big enough to have a ship connected right here that is on a completely different scale from anything that we've currently built in Space Engineers. So, yeah, that is the basic plan. What we're going to do now is we're going to run this stuff all the way back. Yes, there you go. Because what we need to do, and I really probably should make this all out of heavy armor. But, when have I ever done something that makes sense to most people? According to my wife, never. So. Oh, I keep forgetting that you have to... Yeah. Alright. There we go. Okay. And then from there, we need to punch a hole through here somewhere. Alright, so what I want to do is I need to shut off the air vent in the generator room. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that before we get too far into it. Okay, so you are up to the window, which is... That's 1, 2. So yeah, so it is going to be there. And is it in line with that? It looks like it's in line with this. Should be in line with this. Okay. So we're going to drill as we vent the oxygen out of the base. You know what? Sure. Interesting. So we're just going to go ahead and... Oops. Okay. So that way we can pick this stuff up. Because what we're going to do here is... Let's see... going to go. Now, I don't really need the power from these things, but I'm going to do this anyway. Mainly because of the fact that I'm silly like this, but we're going to do it anyway just because we can. So what we're going to do is go reactors. We want the heavy reactor. Let's flip this beast here. And then this one is going to go... Wahahaha. Alright. Now, do I need to actually have this much power? Obviously not. But what it does do is it allows us to go... Is that light directly in... That light is directly in the bloody way, isn't it? Doesn't that just figure? Okay. And then we're gonna go... That. Yes. Yes, okay. So that connects them all through, and that is going to give us our supply line as long as we can pipe that in somehow. Actually, you know what? I'm wondering... Because I could swear there was a connector on this side to be able to access inventory from. Oh, perfect. We got all of those supplies. I am not worried about any of that. So let's go ahead and take an elevator ride. I need to put another light in here too. I'll probably put it on the bottom of the conveyor. What I might end up doing is running this through and into the conveyor. Actually, let's do that just to be safe. Because I know we're having trouble getting things in and out of that one, so... I need steel plates. I thought I had steel plates. Oh, because that's right. Nope. Not what I'm looking for. We want that. Okay, so we're going to go plate. More plates than I need. Okay. Yes? Or did I take it too far? I took it too far. Let's try that again. Look at that. Perfect. Alright, so this way we know we're able to feed power into the entire system. So, now we have that. We have the external connector there, and I need to go grab power. I should have thought about that a little bit earlier, shouldn't I? Okay. Or actually, oxygen is what I need to grab. Alright, so let's go here. It's kind of funny that I didn't do it while I was sitting there, you know, looking at it. Oh well. It's not like I don't have the materials, right? Alright, so... So we drop that in there, we take that out, and we're good to go. See? Easy. Okay, so now we have most of what we need. We're going to go ahead and finish piping this in. I should have the parts that I need to actually finish this thing. So that's sealed so we can hold air in the generator room. That's coming all the way through. And that's out here. Okay, so that gives us the beginnings of our docking area. Alright, so let's go grab our ship. We will bring it back and start welding stuff up. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab this. Alright, we are separated from the station. Hehehe. Alright. And don't try this at home, kids. I am a non-trained, non-professional. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. And let's power this beast on. Does make me wonder, what am I missing for the reactors in there? Probably the reactor components. But I'm usually missing those, so I'm not too worried about that portion. But I will need to get them manufactured so that I can get everything else done. Okay, so a little bit more work here. Trying to tell if our... Looks like the doors were done, right? Yep. Looks like the doors are done. Okay. So now we're going to back this beast up a little bit. Let's turn those off. Make sure we're not going to back into anything. And that is, I think, going to be most of what we're doing today. Everything else now is just basically waiting until we have all the resources we need to finish this beast, which are mostly being manufactured as we speak. It's just waiting for the reactor components to finish, which is a long, arduous wait. And we are going to leave it at that. I think. Come on. Yes. Let me go ahead and get this beast docked. Okay. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. Thank you all for stopping in today. I hope you enjoyed it. I know we didn't get a whole lot done. Well, you know, we got the basis for a whole lot done, but we didn't get a whole lot of the actual pieces finished. At this point, it really is just making a few more parts. Once we have those parts in place, we'll go ahead and finish this thing up. And what we will do the next time we come back is I'm going to be working on finishing the dock over there, and as working on the small ship welding area. Basically, that's going to require me to put a couple of things together, and I found a mod that I'm kind of interested in trying, and I think that is what we're going to do. It's a shipyard mod. You may have seen it before, but it seems to work fairly well, and I'm kind of curious to see how well it works for me, because, you know, does anything in this game ever work quite the way it's supposed to for me? No. Not a trick question. It's pretty much straight up, yeah, no, it doesn't. No. Anyway, thank you all for stopping in today. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section below the video. And yeah, as always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Almost there. Almost there. A little closer. There we go. And we are seated.